Hello again. I have a few updates on the renovations and some healthy summer cooking for you today. So I'm just going to make a very quick lunch, and I'm going to use sardines because obviously everybody knows they're super healthy. Before they became like a TikTok craze and people were, also professionals were advising to eat them. I mean, my parents have been eating them for years and my father eats them every single day. And I find the smell a little bit, well, unappealing, let's say, but I am just determined to make them taste delicious. And to start that, I have put some garlic and chili and olive oil on the heat, and I think this is going to help a lot. Also, the acidity of lemon just cuts through that richness. I love the taste of fish, but sardines are just a little bit strong, and so we need some things to help them. So I thought doing fish cakes with chili and garlic and yogurt, and I think having a lovely dipping sauce with Greek yogurt and some fresh herbs like basil that I've got here will all come together. And instead of it being something that you think, sardines, you think, oh wow, Mediterranean salty summer by the sea, because it has so many good things. I mean, aside from it being like low in mercury and super wonderful healthy fats for you and just protein and everything else, there's so many reasons to love sardines. You are craving something salty and summery when you're in a heat wave like we are now in Europe. I don't know where you are now, but tell me what the weather is like. We unfortunately, like, summer gets to the point where you can't even enjoy it as much outside because it's too hot to eat outside. But I thought I would just do this, throw this together quickly and be outside, and you can hear the cicadas and see the curtains blowing and hear a tractor going past. So what should we begin with? Okay, so let's start with the sardines. And I always think that the olive oil that they come in, unless you're buying a super expensive fancy can of sardines, the olive oil is not very good. And so in my family we're always sort of advising to just discard the olive oil. I guess with Guido's family producing olive oil, and if you've seen any of the videos that I've done on the quality of olive oil, and just there's such a vast spectrum, and some olive oil that claims to be produced in Italy and everything, it's just not good quality, and it comes from many different countries, and you don't really. So that's why I think to discard it. The same with tuna. You know, when you get cans of tuna. So there we are. Yeah, not so bad. I mean, the thing is, when I think about these small fish, I think about such wonderful memories, like eating small fish in Turkey, in Istanbul, in Greece. Just, I love fresh sardines or fresh anchovies, just fried and with a squeeze of lemon. My gosh, delicious. But this just needs a bit of help. So now I would like to add just some lemon zest. Basically, the way that my parents eat these every day is they mash them up with chili and lots of lemon juice, and then they spread them on rice crackers or just have them with on the side of a salad. An egg, a little bit of mayonnaise, half a cup of Greek yogurt. Fortunately today there is this warm breeze, but it is a breeze nonetheless, so it is stopping me from sweating. But I just jumped in the pool before I filmed this so that I could be out here and be cool. And then I have some wholemeal sourdough that I just blended, and so that is about half a cup as well. And we need that just to sort of absorb some of the oil. And I think I'm going to cook these in the oven because I just don't want to be standing there doing them one by one. I have done that, but like now when there's, you know, children waiting around for lunch and things like that, it's easier to just put them in the oven. So I'm going to put them on this tray and see here, so that if some of the oil comes out, it will just be caught by these sides here, and then they can cook in the oven. And I've got the sardines with the bones because it's just better for you. There's so little, they just kind of fall apart. They're not really bones, you know, and that gives you so much, so many other nutrients. And okay, so I'm just roughly mashing this all up, you see, and oh, I might put a little bit of paprika, not smoked. I don't like the smoked. I just like the sweet paprika dolce. A little bit of pepper, and then now I'll just put in garlic. How much would this be? 1, 2, and I'll just put in all this chili because these chili flakes, you could obviously just put in the dried chili flakes as they are, but I wanted to kind of infuse the oil with the chili and the garlic. And yeah, now it's looking quite promising. I think perhaps, what should I, maybe I should add a few more breadcrumbs. It's quite liquidy at the moment. I wanted to put a few basil leaves in here and get the knife from in the kitchen, but Guido is trying to give Raffaello some food and then put him down to sleep. And if he sees me, he's just going to want milk. So instead, I'm going to just tear it with my fingers. Oh, I can hear him crying. I'm just going to add some more breadcrumbs just until this gets a little bit thicker. Yeah, so actually I think I'm adding a cup of breadcrumbs instead of half a cup. If I refrigerate these, they will firm up. I wouldn't say you can roll these. They're sort of just being plopped, scooped out, like it's like the consistency of cake batter, but hopefully they'll all just come together in the oven. Okay, so let's just clear up a little. Oh my gosh, just a gunshot. Probably some farmer shooting something. Oh my gosh, the other day, just over here where the roses are, Guido found a viper, una vipera, and it's such a dangerous snake in Italy. And it's have to be so careful with the boys just playing outside in the garden, and they're kind of, they don't run away, like they don't slither away when they're frightened. They sort of just stay there, and that's such a risk. You would think all the Italians always tell me, oh, you're Australian, you know, all the dangerous animals, but actually there are dangerous animals everywhere. I'm just going to chop some cucumber to put through the sauce, just because I like the texture and I like the bright, fresh crunchiness and flavor that it adds to it. And I think cucumber pairs so well with seafood, with fish. It's so clean and refreshing. So I have some yogurt here, full fat Greek yogurt. You mix that through, and then perhaps add a little bit of paprika. Oh, look at that. Oh, you have to see this. Doesn't this just say summer to you? Also add in some lemon juice, basil, and a little bit of mayonnaise and some pepper. And let's mix that all together, and it will just be so fresh and delicious on top of our fish cakes. I'll put this in the fridge as well so that it chills and just is lovely and cold when it's on the hot, crispy fish cakes that are now chilling in the fridge. So that should be very delicious. We have a new workman living and working on the farm, and I make meals for him as well. So usually I'm cooking for about 7 adults and 2 children. But today it turns out that it's just me, my sister, and Gianfranco. So I thought I'd set up over at the little table overlooking the fields under the grapevine and overlooking our vegetable garden. It was a delicious lunch for 3. Ciao, amore. That's okay, that's okay.
Mama,
Do you want to?
have a last platter?
Yeah, would you like to try also a fish cake?
Yeah. Yum.
Yum. They are so delicious. I really don't like sardines and I love these. They are crispy and so just salty and chili. The chili and garlic. Can you taste the chili and garlic?
Really good.
Oh.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Also, Gianfranco thinks they're really good.
Feel the warmth of the summer. I get lost in the colors, golden hours in your eyes. There's a world to discover. All of me is full of wonder in your light. I'm paralyzed. Can we stay forever and ever? This must be love.
So this is the little apartment that I showed you a couple of months ago. I don't know if you remember. All the stuff was removed, and so now we can see it better and visualize how to use the space. A carpenter came and took away the weathered timber windows, which we decided to restore because the view with the arch is just so beautiful. And we were measuring to plan how to use the space to make a little kitchen and a table for 2 and a bedroom. We've now decided to keep the wall to create a bit of a division.
Vai a misurare questo, dal camino al bordo là, vai.
Il lavandino. Sì. So here you're thinking of putting we put the oven and stove, and we move this beautiful wood-fired stove into the fireplace in the other room.
Sì. Lì, all'angolo, fermo lì. Bravo. 173 gradi.
So this sink we're going to keep. And
obviously we need to think about it, but it's done a very strange way because there's 2 sharp corners here.
yeah.
It makes it strange. So
Then the kitchen, and then we put una piattaia qua sopra.
sì, c'è già i ganci, quindi da portarci l'acqua calda.
So we have what do you call it in English? You call it like a plate rack that goes above the sink, which is very common in Italian country houses. And
Scarico c'è, non si mette né lavastoviglie né lavatrice.
no,
No.
certo.
Cosa non si mette nella
Né lavatrice.
Perché non c'è spazio, amore. I'm saying because this little triangle space is a bit awkward, I think the best thing to do would be to put a little round table and 2 chairs here, because keeping in mind the stove is going in the fireplace. And then when you eat, you could be looking out at this view, and it kind of makes use of the triangular space, which is quite awkward for putting anything else. Like, for example, I was suggesting I think we keep perhaps the sink over here and then make this whole back wall be the stove and the stove and the oven and everything. Yeah, so the electrician has come, the plumber has come, and they're just sort of working out how to do everything. Let me know what you think, but we are kind of leaning towards having a little table, not necessarily round, maybe even a custom shape with two chairs just by that window there to make use of that little pointy space, because I can't think what else could work in that space. But if you can, it's not too late. And then just on that big long wall, putting a cooker with an oven, and then leaving the sink where it is, and yeah, and also a fridge. Oh my gosh, there's so many things that need to go in to even a little one-bedroom space. But yeah, I think it will come along, and I'd be keen to hear your thoughts. Just while I remember it, I wanted to say a big thank you for your extraordinary comments on last week's video. It was sort of like a bit of a diary entry, very cinematic. I like to shoot sometimes like I'm watching some film, like a French film from the 1950s or 60s, French or Italian, and I get so inspired by shooting in that style, and then also writing it in Italian and speaking it in Italian for you, and then and sharing something. I think poetry allows you to kind of share something very deep and sincere and honest, but not necessarily tell the whole story. And that's the great thing. You can perhaps relate to some parts of it maybe not. Sometimes you don't want to tell the whole story to the internet, but you do just want to share some thoughts, because I don't know, for me, I have to make something every week. I have to make something that reflects where my head is at, where my heart is at. And so I would be much more successful if I could just do it like a robot and get out something, whatever the market wants or the internet wants. But I just feel so much better doing it this way that I do, which is all a mix. You know, sometimes I'm cooking, sometimes I'm traveling, sometimes I'm sharing a little piece like that, which is a little bit more intimate and ambiguous, I guess. So let's go back to some more summer meals. One of the things that we grow in our garden are these green peppers, and I have been roasting them. And then I thought, what about I try roasting them and then blending them with some cannellini beans and some chickpeas. And I just, as many people do, because I'm always trying to exercise, I love to have lots of protein, and it's also good for me just to give me lots of energy. I suppose this, what is it? Is it a dip? Is it a sauce? It's kind of like a Romanesco sauce, like where you're roasting capsicums, peppers. But in this case, I like to, instead of using bread, which is what usually Romanesco sauce is mixed with, blended with, I like to use something high protein. So I used cannellini beans and chickpeas, just because that's what I had. And then a little bit of olive oil and some herbs. And I throw in some tomatoes, and then the roasted peppers, and I had some eggplant as well. That's great, because then it kind of feels like a hummus, baba ganoush, Romanesco. It's kind of like a mix of everything, but it's hearty and full of flavor. Sometimes you think, oh, roasting things, it's going to take forever. But by the time your eggs have boiled, because I wanted to serve hard-boiled eggs on top, and you've sort of cut your bread and you've got all your other ingredients together, they're done. Like, I just grilled them in the oven, and in a second they were done. So I just blended that all together and then put it on some sourdough. I'm still making my sourdough, baking it every morning, and then topped it with some boiled eggs, which we get from our neighbor, and some basil, of course, again on the top. And that is just such a hearty lunch. I honestly, when I had that, I was not even hungry for dinner, because it's so filling and so yummy. And it's something that I can give also to our children. Just so simple. You can kind of just throw in whatever you want. But roasting vegetables, I think, really provides that depth of flavor that makes any of these dips or hummuses or anything like that just so much better. And then I decided to make a wholemeal spinach pie. Spinach pie for me is like a summer dish because basically I cook it during the day and then you can just eat it at room temperature, and it's wonderful the next day, even for lunch. So yeah, for me it feels summery, and I grew up having it a lot in our family. And when we were growing up, our mother was very smart in terms of making really nutritious meals. Like, we basically never had puff pastry because it's just wholemeal pastry was so much more nourishing. And so, of course, we would have sweets, and she'd make like afternoon tea and things like that. But for our main meals, for our breakfast and our lunch and our dinner, it was always making sure that we were eating whole wheat. And so for me, spinach pie is this, even though the classic is with a phyllo pastry, and I've actually made that from scratch in a video if you're interested in that. Or if you don't want to make the pastry, just buy the ready-built pastry and make that. But the key is in the filling is just making it full of herbs and not just spinach and feta. But this time I also wanted to up the protein, or just add some protein, and stay there. And so I added in some cottage cheese, which I give to Gianfranco and Raffaello a lot, and that we also enjoy it. So I just added that in, but I wanted to also add the feta because the feta really gives it that lovely saltiness and a little bit of tang, and it's just crucial. So also finocchietto, which is this wild fennel, which is just growing all around the property. And I chopped that up and hoped that I wasn't going to poison my family, because there is another variety that looks like wild fennel and it's not. And it's actually poisonous, but we ate it and we're all still alive, so that's good. And yeah, I just rolled all of that pastry out with Gianfranco, and he's always keen to help. Let's go.
I can do it.
I know, you can do it. Let's smooth it out like a road, okay? You're the steamroller. I see how you're doing it. Yeah, that's it. Bravo. I found I can even get more power if I sort of put it in the middle. You know, that's it, like that. And then I like to sort of bake the bottom layer of the pastry first. You don't need to blind bake it. That is to put a weight on it so it doesn't puff up, because it's wholemeal pastry, so it's not going anywhere. But I do like to brush it with egg, like a beaten egg, because that kind of provides a little bit of a barrier so that then the filling doesn't soak in and it gets all soggy.
Now it's nice and solid.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we filled up all the holes.
Filled up all the holes. Now we need to make sure it's the same thickness all the way around.
Yeah.
So that's a good bit to cut off. Just keep them over here.
It's a garden, I'll stay for hours, so alive with wildflowers, so they're blooming all around. I hear a symphony when you're here with me. Oh, I'm lifting off the...
And we gobbled that all up. There was so many people. There's my mother and my father and my sister and everyone, so I didn't even get to film inside the actual spinach pie because it was just a feeding frenzy and everyone was devouring it. So that was another lovely nourishing meal with protein, lots of greens, and yeah, it just makes you feel so good. It's too hot now to eat dinner outside, would you believe it, or at least in the early evening. But after dinner we have been starting this ritual where we just go and all jump in the pool and swim for about an hour or so, and that's just a great thing with kids because, you know, it gets out all of their energy and everything so that they just can collapse into bed, hopefully, ideally. And also for us, just it's so lovely swimming at that time of day. It's balmy, and you know, we even just watched the moon come up while we were swimming and looking at the stars, and I'm just so grateful for this pool. Do you remember how much trouble we went through and how many months or even years of working out how to get this pool into the property, and now it's here and it is just being used every day. So very, very grateful for that. Thank you for watching. Thank you to my patrons. I hope you enjoyed this little episode. I am always open to your thoughts on what you would like me to shoot next week. Let me know now, today, tomorrow, whenever you see this, because I will be planning. I've got an interview that I want to do coming up. But yeah, I'm always open to your ideas on what you'd like to see next. Thank you very much and have a beautiful weekend. Alla prossima.